In this tutorial, we're going to go through the intro to Visual Studio. I have Visual Studio 2010. You'll have something a lot more recent than that. It's free to download, Visual Studio Community Edition at the moment, I believe. And you will need to include C# with that. We'll go through that in a second. So the first thing we need to do is we need to create a file and new project. So you'll always be creating a project, and if you don't already have it, you'll need to download C#. There's two ways of doing this. You can Google Microsoft Marketplace C# and download it from there, or you can try and open a C# project from somewhere else, and it will attempt to install the C# library, the C# language for you. Now, when you're creating a C# project, the only type we will be creating through this course is a console application. We won't be doing a Windows Form application or any of the other types. That's because the WAIS ATAR Computer Science course only requires you to understand the concept of user interface for programming and not actually create one yourself. And so we'll keep it fairly simple in that respect and not confuse it with a Windows Form. So it's going to be always a console application. So one of the things we need to do is name our project. So always name it sensibly. So introduction to C#, and make sure, in general terms, when you're programming, you want to avoid spaces in general. I've used camel case there for this name. And also, you don't want to include any symbols in the name of your project as well, because this forms part of the program itself. Make sure you know where you're saving everything, and then click OK. That will create a directory with some files in it. We don't need to go through the details of that, but just to be aware that you do need this folder with the files and the other folders that it creates. The only file you'll actually be dealing with is this program.cs file. Now, you can't just open this program.cs file and expect the software to run. You need to make sure you open the solution, you open the project, rather than just opening the program.cs. Now, this program.cs is actually in this window here. You can see here, program.cs, and this is where your code will go. Now, at this point, we should stop and notice the fact that we have, in Visual Studio here, we have an IDE. This is an integrated development environment. And in general terms, an IDE will include a source code editor. That's this window here. It will have a debugger. That's this window here. Any errors can show up here. And it will compile our program as well into an executable file. So we're going to use Control F5 for that. And that's built into this software. Now, one other thing that this offers is the file management opportunity properties over here. That's something that not all IDEs necessarily provide, but this one does, and it does offer a number of other solutions as well. Okay, that's it for this tutorial. We'll go into how to start coding in the next one.